Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the SGA podcast, episode number 2. My name is Hudson. Excuse my voice. I'm a little bit under the weather, and sorry for the late post as well. Just was not feeling good yesterday. This week, we've got some TWAB announcements. We've got a patch that goes live on July 30th. And then we're going to be covering some news with Polygon articles with Mark Noseworthy and Luke Smith. And then we've got a new Bungie Developer Insights video that went live this week as well. Anything else we've got on the agenda?
That sounds like it.
Okay, perfect. Just jumping right into the TWAB. The only thing really that we've got coming into the game right now is Iron Banner coming in next week. That's also going to bring the return of the Iron Banner season-long quest, which I know we can talk about that here in just a minute. But we've also got increased Valor, and that's going to start at 10 a.m. PDT on July 23rd, and it will end on 10 a.m. PDT July 30th. I believe that every weekday will be 2 times Valor, and the weekend will be 3 times Valor.
Didn't know about that.
So that should be good. I know that me and Tristan are working towards Redrick, so I'm excited to get my last reset done next week for that and get that one out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to definitely help.
So that'll be good for everybody working towards that. I know the quest line has given a lot of people issues, mainly just with the grenade kills. Besides that, the only thing that they mentioned with Iron Banner is that Lord of Wolves will still be unpatched. This will be the last Iron Banner until the Lord of Wolves is patched on July 30th. And anyone, obviously, as we mentioned before, and as Bungie has said as well, the 2 Iron Banners, if you have played in them at all you need is 1 game. You'll get the special triumphant emblem to commemorate that you were there when the wolves ran wild. You guys' thoughts on that?
What are all we getting for the playing with Lord of Wolves?
Just the triumph and the emblem, and they haven't mentioned like exact details on what the emblem looks like.
Damn, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, do we know what the emblem looks like yet? That's funny. I do kind of wish they wouldn't make it such a big event and just change the gun, but
yeah.
Oh, it's cool.
Yeah,
do you guys think
I kind of agree as well.
Do you think it'll be as bad as it was the first Iron Banner?
Yes.
Do you? I don't know. I think it's kind of gotten old. I don't know. Like, it'll still be there. I don't know. I don't think people will like. I don't think it'll be as bad.
Like,
I think it'll be toned down.
I don't think it'll be as bad either, really, to be honest. I've played like 5 or 6 comp games, and I've only seen 1 guy use it.
Yeah, like
that's kind of where it's the most rampant right now. And like I said, I've only seen 1 guy out of like 6 games use it. I haven't used it at all, but I mean, if it gets out of hand, then whatever. I guess I'll break it out again. But
yeah, but I've been playing comp and quick play. Nobody's really used it.
Yeah,
not in quick play. I've seen it quite a bit in comp, though.
Have you? I haven't seen.
And then the thing with like Iron Banner 2, it's when all like everybody comes to play it because it's Iron Banner, and so you get all the like comp and casual people just mixed into one pile, and then
I guess
the
that's
bad
fair.
people are like, oh, the good guy, or the people from comp are like, oh, we can't compete with them. Let's use Lore Wolves, and then they are using Lore Wolves, so they're like, let's us use Lore Wolves and shut up. And it's just a whole bunch of wolves killing each other.
It's definitely going to be there. I don't think it'll be quite as just oppressive, though. Just because like, it was kind of a meme, and it was kind of like a new thing, like a newly discovered strat. Not really strat, but just like a new thing to do. Because it's
like a new meta, basically.
Yeah, it was just like... And I think now that everybody kind of knows about it, everybody hates it. I don't think it'll be as everywhere as it was before. It's less funny now. Like, when it first came out, it was pretty funny. Like, watch, like, the videos and be like, what? And then just, like, absolutely incinerates people. Now it's, like, kind of gotten old.
Yeah, I agree. So,
I don't think it'll be that.
Either way, yeah, just suffer through Iron Banner next week, and then the patch comes on the 30th, and then that'll be done and dusted.
The death of the king.
The Lord.
Really nothing else. Iron Banner related, like I said, just the increased value or valor and the Lord of Wolves. That's really all they mentioned there.
It's only increased valor, not increased glory, right?
Correct. No glory increases, just valor. And like I said, I'm pretty positive it's double during the week, and then the weekend is triple. That could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty positive that's how it's worked in the past. So see that continuing on for this Iron Banner. The only thing else that kind of leads into that in the TWAB is people have found an exploit in the Tribute Hall where basically you can character switch while you like collect a bounty, and then you can like place a free tribute like over and over and over again, and then that basically just gives you the 50 tributes in the Tribute Hall without actually like having to really do anything. They mentioned that this will get fixed on July 30th as well. They also make a side note to mention that it's not policy at Bungie to punish players who discover workarounds or anything like that. So like if you took advantage of it, basically you're not going to get punished or banned or anything like that. The only thing that will happen is if you collected the Bad Juju Catalyst and the X marks the spot emotes, those will be basically unable to be used. However, Bad Juju will still be in your inventory and will persist. So essentially, if you cheese to get the Bad Juju, you've still got it. However, you're going to need to earn the Catalyst and the emote properly.
Oh, so they won't give them the Catalyst?
Correct. So like they have the Catalyst now, and you can use it, but then it's just going to make it unequipable. Actually, get 45 tributes placed in order to apply it again, essentially. So they're not going to take Bad Juju out of your inventory or make it not usable. You'll still be able to use the gun, just the Catalyst and the emote will not be usable.
Interesting.
That's funny. Two of our friends, Thomas and Jace, both did it. And
I was going to say both Jace did.
Yeah, that's true.
I saw that Jace had the Catalyst, and I was like, that is bullshit that he has the Catalyst.
Fuck,
There's no way.
No way in hell. Like, he's going to be so butthurt about that. It's going to be hilarious.
So, I mean, I think it's a fair trade-off. Let the people keep the gun, like, whatever. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
It's not going to ruin the game, but make them actually work to get the Catalyst and the emote if that's what they want.
Yeah, there's something that I like about Bungie, because a lot of the companies do that. Like, they will, like, punish the people. I think it's cool. I think it's funny. Like, when people discover, like, little cheeses.
I do, too. I mean, that's been, like,
it's funny.
a
it's
fucking staple of Destiny. Like, from launch until now. Like, it's all
that's
about, like,
a lot of the fun of the game is just breaking.
And, like, just trying to break the game. Like, that's literally what we've been doing for 5 years.
Like, dude, the goddamn...
it's not going to change. So I like Bungie stance.
The treasure key cheese from D1 with House of Wolves when it first dropped was awesome.
Exactly.
That was so funny.
The loot cave, like, it's just memories. Like, it's not really
the loot cave.
It's not even that big. Like, I like Bungie's stance on this. It kind of reminds me of like the 4 JFKs going on right now too. Yeah. Which, like, I really don't care. Like, I've done it. I don't really care. Like, not that big of a deal. You're just going to get some planetary materials. You're not AFKing in comp matches. You're not AFKing in Crucible. You're literally not affecting anybody. Like, the people that join with you are AFKing too. Like, who gives a shit? And I doubt Bungie is going to fix that because it just shows that their engagement numbers are really high if somebody's playing the game AFK for like 24 hours. I literally doubt that they're going to change.
Fair enough.
So, like, that's true.
I think it's fine.
And it's like...
But you got those white knights out there who are like, this ain't fair, and then they go into your matches and then try to extend it for as long as they can. So that's happened to me and Hudson a couple times.
That did happen to me once.
That's really funny.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, plant materials suck. Like, come on. Like, actually just getting planetary materials all the time is really, it's really annoying.
I forgot what quest it was in D1, but remember when you had to farm planetary materials, but then it was like a rare drop when you picked up a planetary material?
It was
pick up 10 for a quest. What was that for? Was it for one of the swords?
I think it was the Raise Lighter.
I think it was for the Raise Lighter. That was literally the most painful and worst
was it
quest I've ever done in my entire life.
Yeah, I know.
You had to go to the Cosmodrome and pick up like over like 100
You had to go with
of the
Mars too.
stupid
It was the
materials.
Cosmodrome
and
and
Mars. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
awful.
that sucked. I do remember that.
Like, it took me like all day of just roaming around in patrol. It was the worst
that
thing ever. Like,
yeah.
that is not fun farming at
Wait,
all.
Was it the Boolean Gemini actually?
It might have been. I can't remember what it was for. I just remember that it was just awful.
Yeah,
like,
that
I
quit
just
sucked.
remember doing that, and like, you're like, oh, there's the spin foil or whatever. You go pick it up, and then you wouldn't get the drop that you needed. You just got the material, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, that one was rough. It wasn't too bad for me. But what happened is you'd get like 4 in a row, and then you'd just get none.
Yep, exactly.
And then
Because I remember, like, I spawned in patrol. I found one right away and picked it up, and like didn't get one. And I was like, wait, what? And I like went to another one and didn't get it. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, it's just a random chance when you pick one up.
Yeah.
And it took me like 3 hours.
It sucked because it wasn't even like every 10 you'll get like 2. It was just complete RNG. Every time you
totally
grabbed one, it was
RNG,
like,
yeah.
you might get one. Yeah, that
It
one
was not
sucked.
fun.
That one
So,
sucked. It was
I
fun,
don't
though.
mind being able to farm for materials AFK. That's fine with me. That's
Yeah, and
do
like,
not want to relive that ever again.
dude, do you remember like Vanilla D1? Like not 90%, but like half of the game was just farming chests just to get the planetary materials to do other things.
Yep, absolutely. I remember going to Venus and just running the farming loop in that
It was
little
kind of fun.
circle right there.
I didn't hate it. It sucks
Like
now.
it was okay, but like that's not my favorite thing to do at all. Like, I want to
Yeah.
do shit that's actually
And then they
fun and
changed it.
challenging.
And then you can just buy them for Glimmer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
No, it's weird.
moving on though. Besides that, getting off track a little bit, just a wee bit.
That's the fun part, though.
I felt
That's the fun
included,
part.
you know.
Yeah, Tristan feels really included in this
Shut up,
conversation. He just sits in silence. The only thing that they mentioned besides that in the TWAB, wrapping it up, is there's been a lot of questions on Twitter, Reddit, and their Bungie forums that people are really confused as to what exotic weapons actually provide progress for the Tribute Hall triumphs, and they mentioned that it is the fully upgraded Legend of Acreus, the Terabah, and the Bad Juju. No other exotics. Like, a lot of people thought that Truth would work because it was a Season of Opulence exotic, but that's not the case. It needs to be an actual exotic weapon that was granted on the Leviathan, which obviously Legend of Acreus was granted in the Leviathan raid, Terabah is in the Crown of Sorrow raid, and Bad Juju is in the Tribute Hall, which is also on the Leviathan. So those are the 3 exotics that you can use to get bonus progress on your Tribute Hall triumphs.
And just clarifying, the catalyst does not matter, right? With Acurus or Bad Juju, you just need the weapon.
Does not, just the weapon. The only thing that is specifically called out is that the Legend of Acreus needs to be.
It can't be the prototype version.
Correct.
Of Acreus where you
Yeah,
have
yeah.
one bullet in the mag.
Yeah.
Exactly. It can't just be the one that you get right after you beat the raid. You actually have to go through and get the weapon fully upgraded. Besides that, they call out some minor issues and vital information with the Moments of Triumph and known issues with Season of Opulence. They're mainly just talking about service issues over the past week. They've had some weird issues where there was a lot of disconnects and then like invisible players and like the Crucible, like something's up with the servers. I don't know exactly what is going on there. Really weird. I haven't ran into it at all, but I've seen some videos and it's kind of interesting. Like, the other team will literally be like, they're loading in, like they're invisible and have that weird, like, just glowing, like, invisible thing around them. Like when a hunter's invisible, it shows them like that running around in the Crucible, which is really interesting. But
me and Trey had that, and it cost us a comp game.
Yeah, that was annoying.
When me and Trey were playing.
Yeah, I know people have been upset about that too. Same with getting kicked in comp matches, like back to back, and so they've elevated that and working on that. If you need to get real time updates, follow Bungie Help on Twitter or visit help.bungie.net. Then they just go through the movies of the week, and then a little tagline at the end from Cosmo just highlights that they'll be going over the Solstice of Heroes. And next week, TWAB, they'll do a little bit more of a deep dive there. I know a lot of people are concerned whether or not that's going to roll over into Armor 2.0, meaning like the Solstice of Heroes set, if they're really clamoring to figure out if that's going to be an Armor 2.0 set. I have a really good feeling that it's not going to be honest, which is pretty much just going to deter me from like not playing Solstice of Heroes, because it's just a waste of my time like it was last year. So just because they haven't come out and said like, oh yeah, it's going to be an Armor 2.0 and you can kind of preview that before, like if they're waiting this long to come out with an answer, I highly doubt that it's going to have Armor 2.0 and it'll be exactly how the armor sets are right now. So it's a little bit disappointing, but we'll see how that actually works out next week. And finish off, they just say they'll be also going over questions on cross-save, Shadowkeep, new character customization, Season of Undying, and things we have not even hinted at yet. This summer will be a time to get you ready for another moon launch. So, how do you guys feel about that, though? The Solstice of Heroes armor set?
I don't care.
Don't care, yeah.
Like, but even if it came with Armor 2.0? If they said like,
I mean, yeah, if it came early, it'd be interesting.
Yeah. And when you upgrade it all the way, like you can play with an Armor 2.0 set before Shadowkeep even launches.
I mean, yeah, that'd be cool. Just to get a taste of like the new armors, but if it doesn't,
yeah, because I mean, I love the way they look. I love the auras. Like, I really wish that they had those type of armor sets like Age of Triumph and D1, because I think that's seriously lacking. Like, I really don't like very many of the armor sets, especially for Titan that I main in D2. Just not thrilled with really any of the armor sets. So it'd be awesome, in my opinion, if the Solstice of Heroes set was fully upgradable and was an Armor 2.0 set. But like I said, I doubt that's going to happen. So I'm kind of in the same camp as you guys. Like, I really don't care.
Yeah, if it is Armor 2.0, that'd be cool just to see, but I don't know. It's not just armor. Like, we won't even get that much use out of it, because like, and then that's gonna come out, and then it's gonna get replaced immediately.
Exactly. Like, last year it was just so shitty that like you grinded all the way, and even some people did the 3 sets to get the ship, and then was completely irrelevant as soon as Forsaken came out. Like, that the set's completely irrelevant. Can't equip mods or anything. It's awful. No perks. It's So I can foresee that happening. Like I said, I doubt it'll be an Armor 2.0 set, but if they came out and said that, I would grind for it and get it just because. I think that would be cool to play around with before Shadowkeep launches.
Especially if it gives us like strength and intellect.
Absolutely. Yeah, like if it brought all of that in, like, and it was literally like a Shadowkeep set that was in the game, like, I would 100% grind for that and use it, but I highly doubt that that's going to be the case, so kind of not getting my hopes up for anything that they're going to announce tomorrow, or I mean next week, but we'll see what happens. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about in the TWAB? I think that's pretty much it. It wasn't a super detailed TWAB.
As they are.
Hopefully we'll get some more. Yeah, seriously. been kind of light ever since they did all the reveals for Shadowkeep. It's pretty much just been like nothing, which I get it. There was a huge amount of information that they dropped when they announced all that stuff in June. So
yeah, I bet all 10 Bungie employees are working on Shadowkeep.
What? All 10.
I know, it's a joke.
Yeah, I mean, it's right before it launches something. It's always like the drop.
Absolutely. So
something comes.
Are we going to talk about the Bungie video?
Yeah, so I was thinking we could talk about the Bungie video kind of in parallel with the Polygon article. It was a really short article that Polygon came out with on the 18th. And basically they've put out a couple of really small articles here and there this past week, just detailing some interview highlights with Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy over at Bungie. The highlight here really was just that they're not going to be tweaking anything with subclass trees this fall, which was kind of to be expected in a smaller content drop like this. I wouldn't really see that coming from a smaller expansion, but it's nice that they have called it out and that they're listening. They've heard the feedback, and it's something that they want to work on. I know that probably takes a lot of work, and they'd probably have to strip the subclasses down completely and rebuild them, which I would imagine is not easy to do. The only other highlight in that small article, which we'll link in any videos and on Twitter, is they said that Armor 2.0 will have an energy system, and you can power up the armor to increase its capacity, which will let you equip more mods. So it's essentially like D1 vanilla weapons, right? So like you could use the motes of light to like increase the thing to unlock the perks. But they're going to be doing it with armor this time around. I actually really like this change, but I'll let you guys sound off for a bit on how you think that's going to go.
Do we know how many slots it's going to be, or is it going to be the same as D2 now? So like what are the slots going to be? Is it going to be like the raid armors, where they have like a raid slot for like them, or like Menagerie armor sets for those special things, and then like a normal mod slot? Or are they going to have 2 normal mod slots? Or are they going to have 3 slots? Like, do we know anything about that at all?
Luke and Mark did not mention anything specifically in the article, but if I had to take a wild guess, the raid armor probably will have that unique slot for some raid mods.
Yeah.
That could be totally wrong, but the way that they've done it this past season, I could see that going into the future, which I really like that. I think that's really cool. They did mention, a little bit of a side note, they did mention some things with the finishing moves that I'll talk about and let you guys know here in just a second, that kind of correlate into like armor mods. So I'll talk about that in a second, but I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on how you like this. Like, do you like powering up armor? Like, do you like the feeling of like gradually increasing armor's usefulness as you play with it? Or do you rather just like the system now where like you get the armor, you already have the perks, and like it's a done deal. If you need to infuse it, you infuse it and it's done.
I definitely like it for the armor now, just because armor in the game at the moment is just it's super underwhelming. There's nothing like super special about it. It's not that like as soon as you get it, it's just kind of done.
Wait, are you saying you like the armor now or do not like the armor now?
I like the new thing better. I don't hate it now.
I was gonna say, I was gonna ask you the same thing, because my personal preference too is I really like this new system they're coming out with. Like, I think that's cool that you can power up the armor to increase its capacity, especially with the way it sounds like they're doing this sort of transmog system where like I like the look of this gear, so I'm going to level that shit up and then apply the mods that I have. Like, I think in retrospect, if it was like that now and you had static rolls, that would remind me of D1 vanilla, and it's like kind of shitty. It's okay, but I wouldn't like that now. I'm excited to see how this rolls out, though, because if you can just equip the mods that you already have unlocked and you're just grinding to get those slots unlocked, I think that's fun. Kind of a new way to...
Can you change
to grind Destiny?
Perks? Because if you said transmog...
The way that it showed it in the original Vidoc and the way they explained it with the Eververse ornaments is you literally take the set that you like the look of, and then you equip the mods that you've unlocked to make the god tier set that you want. So, like, you like the Sunbreaker set from Eververse, you equip those ornaments onto your armor, you level that up, and you equip the mods that you want. If you want grenade launcher reserves, you slot it in there. If you want hand cannon aim, you slide it in there.
That's
whether those armor mods or perks are going to exist, I don't know what ones will and what ones won't, because I haven't said it yet, but that's the way that they've pretty much put it out there, which I think is really cool.
Okay.
That's where I was going with like the transmog thing.
That's what I was confused, is just
you get an armor piece that has, good perks, and you just throw on the ornament of the gear that looks cool, and you keep those perks. The mods, however, I would assume you can just rotate them out like you would with weapons right now or armor right now, and you just equip a new one, right?
What one of them was saying was like that he likes like hand cannons and stuff.
Right.
And so you could put if there's like 3 mod slots, you could put 3 hand cannon reloaders and be just insanely like you could just. I think that'd be cool. Like you would be the fastest hand in the West build or something like that. Like you can make different builds with like the mods and stuff like that, like infinite nades warlock or something like that. I don't know.
Which I hope that's like has some truth to it, because those are the guys on the Fire Team Chat podcast, right? Who mentioned, or was that a Bungie dev that called that out? Because somebody mentioned, I know exactly what you're talking about. Somebody mentioned that like you could slot
Smith. I don't.
You could slot like 3 hand cannon loaders onto your armor. I don't know if that's actually going to be a thing. That would be really cool. Was it an article? I just remember hearing exactly what you said somewhere. I couldn't remember if it was one of our other podcasts on Destiny or if it was a Destiny or a Bungie employee or whatever. But
it said Smith gave an example of using specific mods to make his life easier. Quote, I like hand cannon, said Smith, and so I might put 2 hand cannon reloader mods on my gloves that stack and work together.
Ooh, so Luke Smith actually called this out.
Yeah, Luke Smith, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So that has some real validity. Okay, that's cool. I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a little bit more like min-maxing coming into Destiny, which is awesome.
Nothing but good things.
Yeah, I was like, this is great. I think, too, when you pair that up with intellect, discipline, and strength coming back into the game, there's probably going to be some crazy game-breaking shit that Bungie's going to have to fix after a couple weeks, but I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be awesome.
I hope they actually make significant differences with because like right now with the mobility, resilience, and like recovery, yeah, they don't make that big.
No, and like mobility is only strafing too. Like it has nothing to do with your sprint speed. So that one's like the worst. Like I literally run 0 on my Titan. Like it's stupid.
They can help a little bit, but they're barely noticeable. Like recovery's the best. I was
gonna say recovery's the best and by far the most notable.
Noticeable, yeah.
I'm hoping they make those a little bit more useful, and then intellect, discipline, and strength. I hope that those are also noticeable. I'm just the only thing I'm afraid of is people making these crazy builds and then hopping into like comp and just chaining supers the whole game. That's the only thing that I'm nervous about.
Yeah, it's just the supers. They're just really oppressive if you can chain them together. But I like that. I like people making like really strong builds to really focus on one thing. It's fun. I hope there are like some really strong builds that can do things, just as long as it isn't infinite supers.
Exactly.
If it's not infinite supers, I think it can be cool.
I think in like competitive playlists and stuff like that, they should change just supers to be a base thing that you get in a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
You should not be able to equip 4 super mods, have bad juju on, get your super 10 times a game. That should not happen.
Yeah, I agree.
And like chaining supers and stuff like that, like I think it should just be, hey, you have the game's 10 minutes long. It takes 5 minutes to get a super.
Yep.
Or like 4.
I agree.
But then
so you can get it like twice in a game.
Yeah, but if that happens, then everybody gets their super at the same time, and then it's just normal Destiny, and then boom, everybody just nukes everything, and then it's just back to normal again.
It could be like, depending on which super, like you would get like Tether the fastest because Tether isn't very good in PvP, or like you would get like, but then again, all supers are crazy because they're supers. So
it should just be like roaming supers should take the longest.
Mm-hmm.
I do think utility ones, so like Tether, I guess that's kind of the only one. Or Well, like Tether and Well should be like decently quick. Because you can shut both of those down with anything.
Yeah,
Tether is mainly just good to counter a super. Is like
I
main
agree.
reason you use Tether, but like Striker, Spectral Blades, like Dawn Blade, those should definitely be way. Or just have like almost like Overwatches for a lot of games, where it has a set timer, but depending on what you're doing, that you can change that timer. Not with like stats or gear, but just like as how you're performing in the game. So if you're
Right,
absolutely popping off, you can get more supers than somebody who just sucks.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Like, that already happens in Destiny, except
Yeah.
super mods are a thing. And so, they should just take super mods out for PvP. Disable them completely in PvP.
Maybe
Because
modes of light.
it's not fun.
Maybe modes too. Like that you generate modes when you
Yeah, because I'm in the same camp too. Like, I think obviously Destiny's in a spot where you can grind a bunch of different activities and you can get better, gear and weapons from all different areas of the game, and so it's a little bit different than something like Battlefield Call of Duty, where you just hop in and everyone's pretty much on the same level playing field. Like, you can grind something out that's just god tier, and you jump in the Crucible that way and just wreck, which is fine. I think it adds a lot of diversity, but at the same time, exactly, like if you're chaining super mods with supers and it's just constant super fest, like,
it's just not a competitive environment.
That's not competitive at all. Like quick play or mayhem, sure, whatever. Especially mayhem, that's the game mode. I think it's fun if you want to hop in and play that. But like, I'm not trying to get defabled to get some really good pinnacle weapon and trying to have to fight people that are just roaming around with supers every game and just getting demolished. I think that they should limit that for sure. Like, one super a game or no super mods or something like that. Same with heavy ammo. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, heavy ammo spawns like a lot.
Yeah, like ridiculous in my opinion. But
they're just in kind of a hard spot. Destiny 2, like, it's so hard to balance with the way how they have it, where like everybody. I was gonna
say, with the way that they have it set up and the way the game is, like, it's really hard to balance that. So I get.
I mean, they know
get it from their perspective, and they know that they've been doing it for 5 years. So
they considered taking it out of the game in general.
Yep, absolutely. So
I don't know. I think
it's a rough spot. I think that they should just play with it.
Like, people who
that's why I think Crucible Labs should come back, or like a PTS server, something like test out these different game modes, test out these different changes in a competitive environment. You're not going to lose glory. You're not going to gain glory. Just give us your feedback. And I really think that would help them out a lot. So I hope that that's something that's on their radar. They mentioned Crucible changes and they want to change the foundation of the Crucible. I really hope that they go in that direction.
I feel so bad for like people who just genuinely love like trying, like, Destiny, Crucible, and like trying to be like competitive and like good at it. Because there's just so much shit you got to fight against to make the game fair and balanced. Like, if you watch like any like people that have like little private tournaments, like, you have to ban so many things. Like, you have to limit the players so much so that it's like
absolutely
just to get as much skill out of it as you possibly can. It's just hard. This game,
like, there's so many things in Destiny. It's like other things from other games just wouldn't work. Like, you cannot do a pick and ban system. Like, what I would imagine, like, a pick and
only
ban
hunters
is like.
You ban Titans from the game.
Ban Titans. It just switches your class immediately. I was
you
gonna
just
say,
ban
like,
strikers
and stuff.
I think you could ban exotics. I think that would be.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, except that's the thing is, like, you got 4 people. Each person gets like 1 ban. Except there's a lot of like exotics.
Just have each person ban. Each team gets 2 bans. Like, they vote.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, we banned like, I don't know, we could ban like Lord of Wolves, and they, I guess, I don't know. It's just there's so many things that like okay, we'll ban Lord of Wolves and Insurmountables go for it. Well, there's One-Eyed Mask. There's also like Bad Juju and like Warlocks with Chaos Reach, where they get their supers 10 times a game. Or there's just so many things that are just like kind of like busted. That like it's just crazy.
Hard.
Yeah, it is.
Destiny Crucible is just a whole fucking. It's a whole thing. I don't know, it's so hard to like.
No, I agree.
It's gonna be rough.
Yeah, it's always going to be a challenge. That's why I just, not being super hardcore PvP, I just see it from both sides. Like, I see the player frustrations, but I see where Bungie is coming from too, and the system that they have in place. And so it's kind of just like, you can't please everybody. It's just never going to happen. So just do the best they can and take the feedback from the players and try to implement it into a spot where it works. So hopefully we see some good changes. We'll see what happens.
They said in Shadowkeep, like in the Shadowkeep like trailer, they said we're going to focus more on PvP.
Yeah.
Because
they called it out. They saw that it was an issue, and I think that's good that they addressed it finally. And like I said, that's why I'm like, I see it from both sides. I think it'll be interesting to see where they take it. They want to change it. They want to, create a new groundwork framework for the Crucible. So, it has potential to be really, really good. And there were some times that it has been really good. There's some times where it's been really fucking bad. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes. But getting back to the Polygon article, the last
still on that shit.
just mentions that we're going to introduce new mods to into the pool for you to chase. So there'll be some new mods. They don't call out specifically what they're going to be, but there will be new mods. So that is always a welcome change to add a little bit of diversity to some builds.
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully they're good.
That's expected. They're better on new mods.
The only thing that I mentioned earlier before we get into the little Bungie video that they released this week that I said earlier was with the finishing moves coming into the game, there was another Polygon article, I believe. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was a Polygon article this week where Mark Noseworthy and Luke Smith mention that you will get the actual animations of the finishing moves from Eververse, which is to be expected, to be honest, at this point. I get it. However, any of like the finishing move traits or like, I don't know exactly the way that they described them, but like the perks attached to that are earned through gameplay. And they mentioned that there's one that's work in progress right now where you activate your finishing move. And once you've killed that enemy with the finishing move, it grants heavy ammo to your team.
Oh,
what?
That's nice.
So some super cool stuff in the works there that they mentioned that I think is really awesome. So yeah, I just wanted to chat about that for a bit. I think that that's really cool. Especially if it's like, you got to put yourself out there a little bit, like a little bit of a risk reward. Like, oh shit, like guys, I could finishing move this knight real quick. I might get it all. We could all get heavy ammo too. Like, I think that that's a really cool little thing.
I'm glad they're doing that.
What do you guys think?
I'm glad because I remember Halo when Halo Reach added assassinations. Was it in Halo?
Right.
Yeah, it was Reach.
Reach.
I remember like they were so cool at the beginning, except once people actually got like into the game and we were playing a lot, then it's like they were completely useless. There's no reason to assassinate anybody. So like if you were playing in like an actual like game where you're like really trying, like any sort of competitive thing, which is as competitive as Reach got, but like doing assassinations, there was no point. Like after like the cool factor was gone, they were completely useless because it would just get you killed.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you'd be doing the animation and you die,
yeah, and you're just stuck there.
So it's like, well, that was terrible.
That's the case in the Crucible, right? If you do that animation,
can you even do that in the Crucible?
Can you even do them?
I don't believe that you'll be able to do it in the Crucible.
Oh,
yeah, I'm saying because it's not quite like it. Like it's like more like Doom. If you play Doom, like when they get low, they start like blinking and
absolutely.
You can like go and like size it.
And I'm sure that they'll have a similar indicator like that.
Yeah.
Where, this, signifies that the enemy is ready to be, destroyed with your fist or whatever.
Yeah.
And I really like that they're tying something gameplay related, like you said, to the actual finishing move itself. I'm fine with them being an Eververse. I really don't care.
I mean, as long as everybody gets
that big of a deal. I think you get a base one for free.
Yeah,
I would imagine
because
it's going to be part of the game now. So that would be weird if you didn't. You know what I mean? So I'm totally fine with that. I think it opens possibilities up for them to actually animate and do some really cool things. And it's a lot more enticing than what they have in the Eververse store right now anyways. Like, if they come out with some super crazy badass finishing moves, like, I'll buy that shit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt,
And,
I'll
like,
buy that shit.
Assuming the Eververse stays similar to how it is now, it's not that bad. Like, you can earn them without paying anything. Like, I've never had, like, an issue earning something.
Just go
No, I haven't either.
Yeah,
The
it's
only
never been
time
like
has
that.
been this season because there's the direct purchases and the bright dust. Like, there's no Ingram, right?
Yeah.
It's just the best of year one. You know what I mean? So I've pretty much spent all my bright dust getting the shit for this season, but I've never had a problem either. Like, it's totally a non-issue, especially for players that have played, 500 hours, 1,000 hours, whatever.
Like right now, are they patching the material farm on July 30th or no?
Like the AFK forges?
Yeah.
Nope.
No. I was
Nope.
gonna say, like, if they
Not
did
that we know of.
yeah, that's true. If that's still a thing when Shadowkeep comes out, you can farm for. It doesn't give you much XP. It gives you a little bit, but like every time I've like woken up from doing it, I've had a best of Euro on Netherram or like something like that. Like,
You can farm 1 engram a night.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's
extra
engram, I guess.
But also with like Rumble, like you can farm Rumble whenever. They're not going to patch that. You just set up a macro. You just sit there, and it also gives you XP when you finish it. And I bet since you're doing PvP, it'll give you more XP. So
if they rework Crucible, they've got to fix that because the AFK Rumble thing it's bad.
yeah.
It is
Literally half the people playing Rumble are AFK.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. At least it's not like comp shit or anything. It's just Rumble.
It's
But
just Rumble.
at the same time, like, yeah, it's just stupid. But
It'd be really funny being a new player and just walking in and be like, why is everyone AFK?
what the hell?
Yeah.
Also, about that video, the returning exotics that we're getting back. I believe it's Monte Carlo, Necrochasm, and No Time to Explain, right?
Yeah.
Are the 3 confirmed that we're getting?
I know for a fact Monte Carlo for sure, because that's clear as day. I did see the little thing of No Time to Explain. It'll be interesting to see if it actually comes back as that or if they change it a little bit. But either way, cool. No problems with that. I have not seen Necrochasm anywhere.
Yeah,
Where was that at?
Necrochasm is, I don't believe it's confirmed, but I believe it's, there's been like some leaks, like people mentioning it. I think there was a screen. But, and it's we're going back to the moon, like, the first time we went to the actual moon expansion of the game that was focused on the moon was Necrochasm.
Yeah, I was
So
going to
if
say,
there's any-
it's Crota's End. So.
If there's any weapon to bring back, I feel like that one.
I could see it being, if they're going to bring back, like, let's say if they're going to bring back a raid exotic, I could see it being Necrochasm because of the whole moon thing. However, I could also see it being Vex because the raid's in the Black Garden.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like the raid is not on the moon.
So I could totally see it being Mythoclast that could come back, which would be amazing because, like we said on the last episode, fuck yeah.
Absolutely. If they bring
that
back
shit
Vex, that would be fucking fantastic.
I will be so happy. I will never take it off. But, yeah, I mean, the video, you guys got a chance to watch it, right?
Yes.
I think that little mini Vidoc, they go over some things. They showed some really cool stuff, a lot more of the actual moon spaces than the like out of shadows Vidoc. So I thought it was cool. I think it looks sweet. Like the new lighting compared to D1, it looks awesome. It's a little bit brighter than I wanted it to be, just because I really liked like the super dark, eerie feeling of the moon. But I still think it'll retain. I think.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I think like being indoors inside like the hive castles and stuff will definitely win.
Yeah, I think it's gonna look sweet. I'm excited to go to all of the cool areas. Like the Hellmouth was one of my favorite areas in D1, and it looks pretty sweet. The new fortress, it's pretty
the
sweet.
hive castle,
Awesome, like super badass. It'll be interesting to see how big that is, and if it's kind of similar to like the Dreadnought, like a lot of really weird caverns with like hive larvae and stuff. And I think it'll be really cool to explore that too, and me get a chance to dive in.
Yeah, I'm the main thing I'm excited about the Hive Castle is we've never really had like a huge fortress like that, other than in the Dreaming City.
Right.
Yeah.
But the Dreaming Cities, you can't even see that. You just kind of go down elevators after elevators after, and then it's just like room after room. It's just like a big maze of a castle.
Yeah, and there's
like
not really enemies either, except for in like the one area that's kind of open.
Yeah.
So
like, you just
I think
looks
this
cool
will be
to
a little bit different, and it'll be super sweet.
You'd
I'm
imagine
excited.
the new dungeon is that.
That would be tight.
That would be cool.
Hell yeah.
When
It wouldn't surprise me if it was. That would be sick as fuck. You just like break into the fortress and then just go all the way down.
It's just
That'd
like a
be
thing,
awesome.
man. You're just raiding a little fucking Hive Castle, man. It'd be sick.
I would dig that. That would be
So
fantastic.
Where is the Black Garden? Is it on the moon?
No.
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 So
I can't remember. Was it on Venus or
You
do
know
we
what?
not know? I don't think we know.
it's really weird. In the game, you access it via Vexgate on Mars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't really know if it's specifically stated where it is. We could just totally be just jackasses
It's,
right
it's
now.
definitely not on Mars.
But it's not like
yeah.
I don't think it's on an actual planet. I think it's its own. It's kind of like the Ascendant realm. I think where you kind of just travel to it in game,
sure.
but it's not really.
Sure.
I was gonna say you could double check that real quick, but I know that it's accessible via Vexgate on Mars.
Yeah,
in two locations.
Mm-hmm. Is one of them near Rasputin?
Rasputin isn't on Mars, and he is. But we don't know about. We don't know he is. We have no idea.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird. They like retconned that a little bit.
Yeah, like in D1 he was
in
not
D1,
there.
Chambers was in the Cosmodrome.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
but then it's revealed it's like
that. But then in Warmind, like they say, like, oh no, that was just like a little, like, I don't know the proper word for this, but like it was like a submind on Earth, and his actual mind is on Hellas Basin and Mars.
Yeah.
But they in game though, they really referenced to Rasputin actually being in old Russia and not on Mars. So like kind of retconned that a little bit. The one thing that they 100% retconned is that there was supposed to be other war minds too. And Rasputin wasn't supposed to be the only one. There was supposed to be Charlemagne and Voluspa. And I think there was one more.
What was the one on Io? Like,
I think that was supposed to be. Are you talking about D2?
D2 Io. Yeah.
No, he's talking about the spaceship.
That's Rasputin.
That's Rasputin on Io?
Wait, what are you talking about? Are you talking about the spaceship that talks to you?
There's a war mind on Io that's like
correct.
Yeah.
So like the Warmind chambers in Io is still part of Rasputin.
What the fuck?
Yeah. No, I'm
So
pretty sure.
their little weird retcon that they did was that in the original Grimoire lore, there was Rasputin, Voluspa, and
Charlemagne.
Just said Charlemagne. I was like, I just said the name literally a minute ago. And then there was one more. It started with an M. I can't remember. Like Malatasahi or something weird like that. I don't know how to pronounce
I know what
it.
you're talking about, yeah.
And they retconned that in Warmind too, and basically said that those things exist, but they're subroutines and subminds of Rasputin. There's really only one true Warmind, because there was leaked content that we were going to break into Charlemagne's vault, and he was like under attack or whatever, and there was supposed to be like a raid, like in Charlemagne's vault, and then they like that got scrapped, obviously, and then they retconned the whole thing that Charlemagne was another Warmind. So that's like the only big retcon that I can recall in Destiny's lore.
And the crow.
Oh,
yeah, is way different than he was supposed to be.
Yeah,
Dude,
I mean, I don't know if that's really a retcon, but
no, yeah,
like,
I don't think it didn't transfer
from
game to game, but
because it was. I was going to say because that was never a thing in D1, but I know what you mean because the original script was he was kind of like Cade 6.
Yeah, a little bit,
but not a vanguard. He was like a outlaw, does things by himself, and then they kind of reworked it and gave him the name of Uldren Sov, and then they took the name Crow and they used that as that's his crew. They're called the Crows, so kind of weird.
The Black Garden on the wiki, it says the Black Garden is a realm isolated from space and time and inhabited
That's
by
what I
the
thought.
Vex. Like their own little.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
They
it was accessible via Mars.
knows.
It'll be interesting to see how that works too in Shadowkeep, because we're definitely not going to be going to that
It's
space
kinda
in
like-
Mars. I highly doubt that.
It's kind of like weird that like in Shadowkeep, like actually never mind, because I would assume that like I was gonna assume like Shadowkeep Hive everywhere that the raid would have something to do with the Hive, but then you guys said it was in the Black Garden, which is like a Vex thing, but the Hive probably took over the. I am stuttering so much. They took over the Black Garden or something from the Vex. I would assume.
So
I don't know if that's. I don't know.
My theory, because on one of the Guardian Con streams, Deej said that with the release of Shadowkeep and Season of Undying, there's also going to be like Vex attacks throughout the system, like everywhere. So like Io, Earth, whatever, there's going to be like random Vex invasions. So going in with the lore, most likely we'll find that obviously Savathun's involved with this whole ordeal, but Curia also will be, I would assume, would be the raid boss in this. I really feel like
Curia is
should be the raid boss. It's the Vex Mind.
okay.
That was taken by Oryx, but she keeps her free will. And so Oryx took Curia and then gifted her to Savathun. And then Savathun has been letting Curia, this could be a little bit wrong, but on point as far as I know, Curia set up the curse on the Dreaming City with Dolan Karu, and that's how they're working that whole ordeal. But I think that the raid boss, that garden, it's a Vex Mike. It's got to be, unless they come up with something totally off the wall. But I doubt it.
Yeah. I want to know more about like all the Hive and like the Dreaming City and shit that replaced all the Taken.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the hell that's about. Like, I would assume it's something for Shadowkeep, but it's just kind of weird.
You know what we're talking about?
I don't. I'm confused.
If you go to the Dreaming City now, it's just covered with Hive. There's no Taken anyway.
Yeah. It's really weird. Like, the only Taken are, like, in, like, Lost Sectors. The rest of it's just Hive.
Or, like, the dungeon. But no, if you just go walk around, like, patrol the Dreaming City, there's just Hive everywhere.
Yeah.
Ooh, what the?
There's
really?
Still, yeah.
Yeah.
There's
like, even this week, because it's the strongest curse week right now.
Not
so there
positive?
should be Taken everywhere.
Not positive?
Because it's the strongest curse week.
I haven't checked this
Yeah,
week.
I'm not sure. But,
Yeah, because
like,
I don't...
you know the entrance where you go to the blind well? Like, the big, like, door?
Yeah.
In front of there, there's supposed to be, like, Scorn and, like, Taken fighting. Now it's Scorn fighting Hive.
Yeah, so there's still Scorn there. But yeah, there's Hive everywhere.
Yeah.
Really? Weird.
Yeah.
Huh. I haven't even been paying attention. I've been in the Dreaming City a lot this week, too, and I honestly can't even recall
Yeah, it was
seeing anything different, but...
Yeah, I noticed it because I was like, wait, why is there Hive here? And then I told Trey.
Because, I mean, before there has been Hive there the whole time. Like, from Forsaken launch, there's been Hive there. Yeah. There is. Like, do you remember, like, even just, like, the story missions? Like, the first Curse Week mission? Like, it's all Hive that you fight. Like, there's been Hive there the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's totally brand new, but...
Me and Trey are probably just high.
We
We
won't be
saw
done.
like one curse week.
The part that, like, fucked me up is just, what Tristan said, like, right in front of the well,
Right.
there was just no Taken.
Yeah.
It was very...
I'll have to check
Yeah,
that
are we
out
just
when we're
dumb?
done.
Have they always been
Because
there?
Curse Week,
Hold on.
yeah, because there's been Hive on the Dreaming City. I can guarantee you that 100%.
God, everybody's gonna make fun of us. What the fuck? If we're wrong.
I don't know.
Like, do you remember there's a boss in the Blind Well for all 3 races on the Dreaming City? Because there's 3 Curse Weeks.
Yeah, I know that.
There's the Scorn boss, the Hive boss, and the Taken boss.
Yeah.
And then the week 1, Curse Week 1 Dreaming City mission is all Hive. And then there's usually Hive just lurking around in the patrol places, except for on week 3 when it's the curse is at its strongest, it changes to Taken. So that's why, like, if you guys have been playing it this week and there's no Taken, that is really weird because it's supposed to be Taken because it's the strongest curse week. So you guys might be right. I just haven't.
I don't know, dude. I think we're wrong.
I'm literally
I think
going
we
to check
fucked it
right
up.
now.
I think we fucked it. I think we're just idiots.
Maybe we're just stupid, yeah. I'm going to check right now, but we're probably
because
just
like
dumbasses.
the Hive invaded there when Oryx came into the solar system.
Mhm.
They invaded the Dreaming City, and that's where he found Riven and took it. So they've been there since, and then obviously with this whole new plot with Savathun, she came in and set up the curse on the Dreaming City so she could get access to the distributary, so she could set up a different tribute system for her worm.
Her worm?
Yeah, man.
I don't know anything about Destiny lore, dude. Freaking yeah, that's weird.
You know.
Have we not talked about the
What?
Bungie video yet, or did we?
We did.
Oh, we did.
We did.
We did. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing else that I wanted to call out in the video was just that there's a Jotun sparrow. That's cool.
I saw
And a fighting
that.
lion and a fighting lion sparrow. Did you see that too? It's right next to
I
the
did not
sparrow.
see that one.
Like a big ass fighting lion head on the front of the sparrow.
That's pretty
what the
fucking
fuck?
rad. No, I just
Yeah.
I saw on Reddit the Jotun sparrow. I was like, that looks fucking dope.
I heard like a story about a guy that was at like Guardian Con and he was walking around with a toaster saying "Sign my Jotun."
That's awesome.
They
They need to make a Jotun ghost. Just a freaking
Yeah, dude. If they made a Jotun ghost, that would be so funny.
Here's
Yeah, I'm
Sign
going-
my Jotun.
Sign my Jotun. This is a toaster.
Sign my Jotun.
Dude, you know those fucking cars? They're just like fucking. I don't know. Me and my cousin used to call them toaster cars. They're just like a big fucking square.
Like those Scion or this are they? What are they? The
Oh fuck! I don't remember what brand they are.
Scions or
I know,
whatever.
I know what you're talking about. Where you're driving. the
Yeah, I
other
was saying I was
day.
making fun of it the other day. No,
Yeah.
I don't remember what the hell brand they are. It's just like a giant fucking toaster. I hate them. They look stupid. But if somebody painted it to look like a Jotun, that'd be the funniest thing
That would be
ever.
hilarious.
That would be fucking
Dude, like
awesome.
a real professional job. It literally looks.
It just looks. You're just
It's like,
driving
oh.
a Jotun around. Oh, dude, I'll fucking-
And then when you get faster, the grill lights up red. Like,
What the
like
hell?
It's heating up, ready to fucking just blow
Dude, it
up.
look better than the car
Yeah,
does
dude,
now.
what the fuck?
Fuck. I'll fucking.
Oh hell yeah! That's good shit.
Yeah, dude. Oh god.
Dude, what
That'd
the
be so
hell?
funny.
Oh, okay. It's
I want a Jotun.
They're
car.
Kia.
That'd
It's
be so
Kia.
sick.
they're made by Kia.
Oh, it's the Kia, right?
Yeah.
Kia
Yeah.
Soul or whatever.
There's a few. There's a new one now. Like the Tristan, the one that me and you were making fun of. That's like a new version. I think that one just looks dumb. This is the original one I'm talking about. It literally
So
just looks like a toaster.
if you haven't seen the Bungie video, we will post it in the YouTube comment and on Twitter. If you want to look at the specific like screen cap of the Jotun Sparrow and the Fighting Lion Sparrow, it's around the 320 mark in the video. So
yeah, me and Trey are just dumbasses.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, dude.
Yeah. God
Just
damn it.
I was like,
Yeah,
me and Tristan.
We've,
what the hell were we
we've
doing?
played 500 hours of this game, you know.
I played a lot more than 500 hours. Fuck me.
Yeah, dude. What the fuck?
We literally, and Tristan's like, wait, are there Hive here? I was like, oh yeah, weird.
I've only been playing it for 8 months,
Good
10
God.
months.
Yeah.
I guess to be fair, I've never go to the Dreaming fucking City unless it is the Curse Week to do like the dungeon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I'll give you that.
But fuck, man, yeah, that is. Fucking...
Mistakes were made. Huh?
Dude, I completely forgot that they were Hive there the whole time.
I never even realized.
Yeah, same. I didn't, dude. As soon as you said it, I was like, dude, you're right. Oh my, dude, there was an Hive here. Like I didn't doubt it for a second. I was like, oh fuck, yeah, Tristan's right.
I like how I mentioned that to you, Hudson. when we're
Yeah, you're like, wait,
not
really?
Not by ourselves. Yeah, I never mentioned that at all. I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of weird. And then Hudson's like, no, you're just fucking.
He's like, wait, really? We're like, yeah. He's like, are you sure?
You sure?
I mean, kind of.
I'm not trying to be mean. We gotta double on the podcast. People listening and be like, "What the fuck?
Dude,
These guys retarded!" Like,
good God.
God damn it!
1-star rating. God damn it!
1-star rating. Oh god.
But I think really, honestly, that's it as far as like news and everything else going on in Destiny for at least this week and the upcoming week of Iron Banner and stuff. We'll talk more next week about the next TWAB Solstice of Heroes. And any other news that comes along. But what else do you guys have?
What else has been popping off? Comic-Con's been interesting. There's been some cool trailers coming out of that. Like one that me and Tristan are super excited for is Witcher. The Witcher Netflix series.
I saw that.
Actually looks good.
That
first leaks
actually look good. We'll see.
The leaks and shit we got before it came out were pretty not sick.
Pretty not.
They were pretty. They were pretty. They were pretty awful. Yeah. They were awful, but it actually looks good. And I was pleasantly surprised. There's a Batwoman trailer. Sorry, we're not going to talk about that here. That's a whole other story. Go watch any other person on the internet react to that. We won't.
Yeah, it's.
We won't say anything about that. It's rough. There was one more. What was the other trailer coming out? Hold on. Shit, man. There was one more trailer that looked interesting. Man, what the hell was it? I'm pissed. There was 3 things. I don't know. Never mind. I can't remember.
I got a good ass question for people. So, it's like how we were saying, like what exotics you would want to come back.
Yeah.
I was saying, this question: what exotic weapon do you want to have a catalyst, and what do you want it to do? It can't already have a catalyst.
Okay.
So I can't rework an old catalyst?
No.
Interesting.
What
Okay.
the fuck me? Okay.
Let me think for a minute. Let me think.
Yeah, that's gonna be a little hard.
Which
ones don't have catalysts? Just all of the Forsaken ones?
Yeah, most of the Forsaken ones.
I was gonna say all Forsaken exotics that I can at least remember, and then pretty much every year too, besides Izanagi's Burden, Outbreak, Bad G.
Yeah, I'm gonna say bad.
Yeah. I just want a 1K catalyst and make it just decrease the time it takes to charge. That's it.
That's a boring catalyst. Come on, you could do better than that.
Yeah, I know, but it's 1K, man. That's all it's got to do.
Come on. Okay.
That is pretty fair.
This is
I'm trying to think of something creative.
Okay. I kind of got one.
No, yeah, it's a hard one.
Make Ace just do double damage on a headshot.
Shut the fuck up.
Like that. I want a real one.
Yeah, okay. I kind of have an idea, and it's for the
better tracking.
Oh my god.
Jotun fires
Jotun's hit scan. It's a railgun.
Jotun's hit scan?
No. God, hold on. I have an idea.
Oh yeah, it's a hard one.
Okay. So the best one I think I can think of on the spot is for Wishender, and it's if you can see people through a wall, if you can keep your cursor on them for 5 seconds, it charges up, and if they peek the corner, you can one-shot headshot. As the longer you're looking at somebody, while the thing's fully charged and you get the wall hacks, if you can look at a target, the longer you look at them, your damage just keeps amping up until you shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So the longer you look at something, honestly, I think that should just be a passive for every bow. But the Wishender, since it has the wall hacks, that should be its catalyst, is that you can use that perk as they're going through walls. So you can charge it up, and if they peek you, just ba-dunk, and it does a shitload of damage.
I know Sweet Business already has a catalyst.
You're breaking your own rule, my dude.
No. I'll just get rid of that catalyst.
Breaking your own rule.
No. This doesn't have to be a catalyst. Just give us another Sweet Business, dual wield.
Just dual wield.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good idea.
The catalyst grants another Sweet Business.
It's a heavy weapon, just it'll be so sick.
Jeez, man, I don't know what ones. That's a hard question to just ask, like real quick. Like,
No, yeah, that's a hard. It's a hard question. Like,
I know I'm trying to think
Ooh.
of something just really creative that's not just awful.
yeah, I don't know. You don't have to answer. I was just saying a question for like the viewers and stuff. Yeah, it took me a while. I was trying to think of one for like the Cerberus +1 because I really like that gun.
Yeah, I was thinking something cool, like maybe like Rampage or something cool like that. I don't know.
Yeah, but like I just could not think of anything for it.
One catalyst that I could think of that actually really shouldn't be a catalyst. They should just make the gun this way. Is Terabah. It should be catalyst grants it to where you still hold the buff when stowed, similar to Recluse.
Oh yeah, that's really lame.
Because it really should just be like that by default. But
yeah,
that's a topic for another discussion.
I kind of thought of one for Cerberus where it's like the longer you shoot, the faster it shoots, except
cool.
the more spread it has.
Like spinning up or whatever.
The
That'd be cool.
more spread it has?
The more spread it has, yeah. That'd be kind of fun. And then, like, if you kill something, it reloads the magazine, like Bad Juju.
It just turns into Anarchy from Borderlands?
Kind of, yeah.
So, one that I think would be cool, just randomly off the top of my head, looking at, like, a list. Arbalist, if you break the shield, it causes, like, an elemental explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just breaking the shield and doing nothing, like a bigger... Because it already kind of does that, but like a bigger elemental explosion. That would be kind of cool, because then you could like hit a group of like acolytes, and then they all just like die. That would be cool.
Yeah.
And then...
What if... I got one from
I like Lumina. What if you just gave it like Outlaw or something cool on a headshot for a catalyst?
I was thinking maybe
I'm more in the camp of like, I want a catalyst to give another perk, not just like bump a stat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. If it just
obviously
gives
on like 1K, like it's pretty much you're just gonna get a charge time buff. Like there's no real perk you can add to a weapon like that. But I think I'm way more in the camp of like add a perk to it, or make its exotic perk last longer. Like Bad Juju, kind of like Outbreak is similar in that aspect, but.
I'm just more in the realm of like it should just do something special, like more special than what the gun already does. Because like Cerberus +1, what I was saying with the more you shoot it, the faster it goes, and then it like gets more spread.
Right.
Like that gun is just an auto rifle with 4 barrels, and so like it's not like it's special, but like there's nothing like you'll never use that gun unless you like really like it. But like, or like Rampage, you could add Rampage to it. But I feel like a Catalyst, just in general, should just be like more unique, and they should just do cool things instead of just like
exactly. Like I don't mind the Izanagi's one; it just gives a flat 20% damage buff to the honed edge shot, which is fine. I don't mind if it's gonna increase the potency of the intrinsic perk. Like I'm fine with that too. Like Anarchy, like. You could just increase the length that they stick. Like if I don't know what the uptime is right now, 5 seconds or something, increase it to like 6, add another second or something. Yeah.
I was thinking...
It's hard. That's really hard to think of right off the spot and not have it be just totally ass.
Yeah.
Or way overpowered.
Yeah, I was thinking like, I want to have one for Malfeasance. Because Malfeasance is such a cool weapon. It's just so...
Malfeasance is underrated, though, in, like, Gambit.
Yeah, that's true. But I was wondering if maybe, like, once you get the perk to proc, and...
I agree.
Like, what?
It's a sick weapon, I agree with you. It's badass.
Yeah. Once you get, like,
the Taken ornament, too. Oh,
so
cool looking.
Once that shit, like, sticks in there, I think it should give it, like, a debuff. like it should debuff the enemy. So or like maybe
Like suppress them or something cool like that.
I was gonna say like weaken it so that it takes more
Okay.
damage. Like
takes
like,
more damage.
as
That'd
it
be
goes
cool.
like king, and then you can like everybody can kind of like focus in on it and do more damage.
That'd be tight.
Mhm.
I don't know. That is such a hard.
Yeah. Also, another thing I just want Catalyst just for armor, and that's like kind of like a weird thing. But like, imagine if there was like one that like came to mind was like Hollow Fire Heart, for Titans. Like, imagine if I guess not Hollow Fire Heart, some sort of exotic that like specializes in like shoulder charge or something like that. Like I was specifically thinking of it with like Melting Point, like if you had Peregrine Greaves on and you like hit something with Peregrine Greaves and you had Melting Point on, then it would Melting Point everything within a certain radius. Like around you. Like it would be like a 5-foot radius or something like that. So if you like hit like a knight that's in front of you and he has like 4 of his knight buddies behind him, it would hit all the knight buddies.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I remember them mentioning like they wanted to do armor exotic catalysts like before Warmind, and then as the game picked up steam, that's just never been brought up again. I would love some catalyst for armor.
Yeah, it's hard to make
that would
armor.
be cool. It really is. It's hard.
Well, like I want them to make armor more interesting in general because a lot of it sucks.
Yeah,
but
2.0, man.
it's really hard to balance that shit though. Like it's not like Borderlands where you can give people just like stupid ass abilities
just like an
and
open
make
sandbox
people
and just like break the game and
like,
it's fine.
Borderlands
it's
is the most unbalanced game that I've ever seen in my entire life.
Absolutely,
but it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. Like that's how the game works. You don't gotta shoot anybody. But like in Destiny, if like they had armor sets that just you just sprint around, you can't aim, and you just shoot, and everything dies in one shot.
Right.
It doesn't really work.
Yep.
Like it's hard to change like and like the classes have like their own like kind of specific play styles that if you change that way too much it's like it's a whole thing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's hard. It is super hard.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's all we have, right?
Yeah, I think that's it. If you guys have any suggestions on the catalyst or if you have ideas for armor catalyst, hit us up on Twitter, email, comment. Any other housekeeping news for us? I have a few things, but anything for you guys?
Housekeeping?
Yeah, just for the podcast, we are on Apple Podcasts now, verified and searchable. So if you are listening on an alternate platform, but you prefer Apple Podcasts, we are live as well as iHeartRadio and Google Podcasts. So if you've been listening to us on Spotify or YouTube and you prefer the other platforms, you can now find us there. Leave us a review, bad or good. We want to get better. We want to improve and deliver the best content that we can. So let us know. Like I said, you can find us at SGA Podcast on Twitter and Super Good Advice Podcast at gmail.com for an email. If you have any feedback, comments, concerns, questions, feel free to hit us up on any of those platforms.